Well, the other thorny issue is the so-called apartheid wage structure. As one of the biggest challenges in the mining sector, mine workers say rock drillers are paid the least, while mining executives continue to get paid large bonuses. Unions have also cited the miners' living conditions as a cause for concern, as well as their safety underground.
Despite being employed, South African mine workers continue to live under appalling conditions. These workers wake up early in the morning to go to the depth of the earth to extract gold, diamonds and platinum. They do so in the hope of securing a better life for their children and providing for their households. But 25 years into democracy, mine workers still bear the brunt of what unions term an apartheid wage.
In as much as they claim that commodity prices are low, but if you look at one of the CEOs in the mining industry, you find that that man alone earns more than 40 million rands in salary, excluding bonuses and shares. Whereas it's difficult for them to give an increase of just a mere 1,000 rand to an ordinary employee. Therefore, the economy cannot be good for some and be bad for others. We believe that they are just bent on keeping the previously disadvantaged South Africans as poor as they can.
The National Union of Metal Workers South Africa is a new entrant in the mining sector. Its Deputy President Andrew Chira says the consumer price inflation-linked wage increase is not working. He says it has failed to pull mine workers out of poverty and to address issues of inequality. NUMSA has also accused the mining corporations of failing to invest in the health and safety of its workers. The union also says mining executives have not taken responsibility for the rising number of fatalities. According to the Department of Mineral Resources, the industry recorded 81 fatalities last year and 90 the previous year.
Go and look at the workers who worked in the mine, who are working today. Those who worked in the mine, some of them have died out of TB-related, workplace-related diseases. Those who are working today continue to fight the same struggle of lower apartheid wages in South Africa. I'm very clear in my view. This is a systematic issue which the mining bosses, the industry, is responsible to address. If they wanted to address it, it will be addressed. I think they have no energy, they have no desire. Their focus is simply on profit rather than ensuring that that profit is also shared with workers in the mining industry. I think there's no sharing, there's no redistribution at all. There's no reason why a mine worker in South Africa today should live in squalor condition.
NUMSA has rejected the national minimum wage, calling it an insult to workers. It says its members in the metal sector earn more than the proposed 20 rand per hour. They are calling for a living wage of 12,500 rand, while the National Union of Mine Workers says a reasonable living wage is anything from 9,500 rand to 10,500 rand.
In as much as we demand better salaries, we weigh that against job losses. If our demand may result in these companies having to retrench our members, then we find ourselves having to choose between high salaries for a few or low salaries for many. But we believe that in order to have more people in employment, but with reasonable living salaries is what we need. However, as I say, we can't demand too much to the extent that the companies decide to close down completely. You cannot shear the sheep so close to the skin that blood can even ooze out of the veins.
Unions are concerned that the massive job losses in the sector may be a ploy to weaken the labor movement. This as various mining companies have announced plans to shed thousands of jobs in some of their loss-making operations.
Faced with difficulty, their first response is retrenchment, is workers. How do you reduce them so that we can save cost? That for them is a minimum response. It's the first response they run to. When there are job losses, the trade union movement will be affected. There's no doubt about that. And that's why we would always fight against job losses. We would always be the first to say, what are the alternatives first? Let's talk. If you're saying you, according to your calculation as an employer, you think that 50 workers must be taken out for you to survive. What are other alternatives? What else that could be done? But they don't want that type of a discussion. Because for them, retrenching workers goes hand in hand inevitably with the weakening of a trade union movement.
Chira says unions operate in a hostile environment. This as workers are being victimized and fired for exercising their right to organize, which has impacted union membership numbers. Nomsa says casualization, outsourcing and labor broking has also impacted on membership numbers. Balintle Mthethwa, SABC News, Johannesburg.